Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coffee Address Holding Investor Webinar. Today our hosts are the CEO of Coffee Address Holding, Viktorija Meikšāne, and CFO, Anna Priedīte, who will present company's unaudited financial results of 12 months of 2022 and provide an insight into company's future opportunities and challenges. After the presentation, we will have a live Q&A session. If you would like to ask your question to the company, please use the Q&A section underneath the presentation. I am now handing over to the presenters.
Thank you, Marta. Do you hear me and see me well?
Yes.
Okay, so I can start. Hello, everyone. I don't see you, so it's very confusing. I'm speaking to the screen, but let me start. For those of you who are not familiar so much with our company, this is who we are. We are the leader in providing coffee and snacks on the go in the Baltics, with #1 market share, which converts to 39 million euros in revenues in 2022. 19% EBITDA margin. We have 700 employees and are managing a park of more than 13,000 coffee machines. The success factors for us are the strategic network of the best locations in the market. We are spread throughout 3 Baltic countries, and not only in the capital cities, but also regionally. We strive to offer the most attractive solutions and concepts for our customers, and we have quite a wide portfolio of those. So the customers could, we can serve a variety of the customer needs. At the same time, we are focusing on the lean and digitalized processes, so we can let's say, execute our service process in the most efficient manner, also increasing our competitiveness. We operate as one company in the 3 countries, and of course, the key face of our company are our 300 employees that we strive to engage and motivate. So about the 2022, I'm happy to report that we actually delivered on our promises, even exceeded those. So the forecasts that were provided at the bond issue stage were exceeded. We were forecasting that the total revenues for the year will be 37 million euros, and we actually managed to achieve 39. And EBITDA, we forecasted to reach 7.5 million euros, and we actually reached 7.6 million euros. And that happened, on the basis of actually very, very high inflation in the Baltic countries. You all probably are aware that it exceeded or was around 20% in all 3 countries. So still reaching the revenue targets and also not losing the profitability. Then maybe in a bit more detail about the revenue performance, our story was that we kept the network during the COVID times, so we were able to finance. We took a strategic decision of not destroying the network, but keeping it during the 2 long COVID years. And this strategy has clearly paid off. We can see that we were able to return to the pre-COVID or even exceed pre-COVID figures quite fast at the point the restrictions, any COVID-related restrictions were lifted. So you can still, if you look at the January and February results, you can see still that there is an impact of different restrictions in the countries, in the Baltic countries. And then since March, since the lifting of the restrictions, we were solidly performing above each month, above the figures of the 19. 19 is the last reference year when we didn't still have COVID, so we use it to compare our performance. So again, the main factors that contributed to that was stability of the network. As we had 13 plus coffee machines in the market, we continue to have them. Plus, we also gained some extra customers, which were able to kind of exchange the worst performing clients to the better performing clients, or to the better performing machines. If to analyze the effect, the causes of this increase in revenue effect, whether it came from the price increase or from the transaction increase, so it was both, mostly from the price increase, but there was also, of course, contribution from the transaction part on per machine basis. Didn't have any major customer losses, and had several major customer wins. For instance, a group of Radisson hotels in the Baltics. On the financial leverage part, so we've been very stable on that one as well. Basically, the same portfolio of financiers remained as it was at the middle of the year, remained at the end of the year. So no big changes. The key word here is a stability. So we are paying all our debts on time. So there has been no breach of the either the payment terms or the covenants. And the last, not least, probably is what is the outlook? What is the forecast for 2023? As many businesses in the market, we are from the challenges. We are, of course, we continue to see very high inflation rates, although it's we know that it's stabilizing right now. There is an increased coffee volatility that we've never experienced before. So far, the coffee price up until last year, the coffee price has been quite stable. Now they are increasing significantly, but also fluctuating. So if we were able to hedge the coffee prices for the extended periods of time previously, now we have to actually do much more active work in managing the coffee prices and adjusting our procurement contracts. So we we can reach the maximum benefit of and lower the price as much as possible. And of course, there is a general concern in the market about overall business and consumer sentiment, that if that would in any way negatively impact the business. So far, we don't see a very clear signs, but of course, we are monitoring the situation and we are ready to adjust if necessary, our offers, our concepts, our ways of doing business. On the opportunity side, we have quite attractive pipeline of new customers. We are in the process of signing a major win on which we have worked for more than 3 years here in Latvia. I cannot disclose it right now, but hopefully it will be public in the next few weeks. We are launching a new concept, delivering on our strategy of attractive a wide portfolio of attractive solutions of our customers. We are launching early vending. Currently, there are a couple of machines already installed in Lithuania, but we will continue with this concept also in Latvia and potentially in Estonia. We are working further with digitalization of and continuous improvement of our internal systems to increase the efficiency of our service. So we continue to invest in the vending management system. It was a proprietary state-of-the-art kind of service management system that we are using for servicing the vending machines, and we hope that we by introducing additional features to that system would further increase the efficiency of our operations. And last year, we also started investing in our own application for loyalty, for customer loyalty, called CA Club. We have around 70,000 users at the moment in around 1 year that have signed up, proving that the concept is very interesting and attractive for the users. So we are also, first of all, we are rolling it in Estonia, where it's still not present, but we are also investing in developing additional features to make this concept even more attractive for our customers. And the last thing is that we are currently, as it is usual actually for us, we are having another look at our financing structure, so to see if we are still optimally financed and if we would need either to restructure it or to attract additional sources of the financing for our future growth. So that is shortly about us. Thank you for your attention, and I'm open to answer any questions that you may have.
Victoria, thank you for the presentation. Now let's proceed with the Q&A session. Just a reminder before, to ask questions to the company, please use the Q&A window. So let's start with the question which was sent in before. So what are the future plans of the company? Maybe you could briefly describe it once more.
It could take hours to describe, but but let me focus on the most important ones. First of all, we will keep our #1 position in the market. That is the plan, with the stability of the network that we have. At the same time, we plan, of course, to increase the sales and EBITDA, but that we would achieve by both increasing revenue per machine, both through the price increases, if that will be appropriate, taking into account market positions, but also increasing the transactions per machine. And the increase of the profitability of each machine would come from the further increases in the efficiency in servicing of those machines.
Thank you. The next question, how do you see the development of vending machine business in the long run? Let's say next 5 years.
I think vending as such, it still is, and it is going to be a very attractive business because it is unattended. It's kind of a branch of unattended retail in itself that is gaining in popularity everywhere. So there are two factors. I think one is general trend of automation and digitalization of the services, and secondly also the way consumers actually the lifestyle of consumers, that is will be more, it is more attractive to snack throughout the day than to have a proper meal. I think where vending would go, it would still need to increase its product or its product offering. So there will be some what overlap with the canteen in future and the retail sector, maybe as it's already starting to happen in the Western Europe. And then it has to invest in it. Usually vending is perceived as an impulse purchase, so the companies would have to invest actually to create some sort of loyalty to their offer, so the customers would kind of not just do an impulse purchase but keep returning to the machines.
Thank you. The next question about the future plans. Are there any plans to expand beyond Baltics?
Very interesting question. I think there is an opportunity to expand beyond Baltics because there is what we've done in the Baltics is that we've actually consolidated the market during the last 5 years. The market consisted of was very fragmented and consisted of number of relatively small companies which were unable to develop on their own. This business is very much dependent on the scale of its operations to be able to develop successfully. And what I can see, there is a similar situation, especially in the Central and Eastern Europe, that the markets are quite fragmented, and there is a potential for this consolidation, which would provide basis for investments, for digitalization, for modernization of the business, just repeating the same story that we've done here in the Baltics. However, considering that we are owned by Baltcap, and Baltcap specifically has a mandate to invest in the Baltic countries, or at most to the countries directly adjacent to the Baltic countries with a specific business purpose. And considering the size of our investment to the total portfolio of Baltcap, it would not probably happen at this ownership. So it would need a change in the ownership structure of Coffee Address to really execute on the strategy of growing beyond the borders. So not in the short-term plans, but looking at very strategically at this question, I think it's not impossible.
Thank you, Victoria. The next question we have received is regarding investment plans. So where does the company plan to invest in 2023 and how much?
I think we are trying to run a very prudent and consistent investment strategy. So since our park will be only gradually growing, we don't need, so the most of the investments will be focused on the maintenance of existing park. So the coffee machines, of course, get depreciated over time, and we need to have a certain investment to renew the park. That would be one part of the investment, and the majority of the investment, I would say. And then the second part is the investment in the IT solutions and to further improve the efficiency of the park.
Thank you. Continuing on the investment side, the next question is: are there any plans for the IPO?
I think that's a question to my shareholders, really, not to us. But I haven't heard of such plans.
Thank you. The next question: what's your competitive advantage if compared to other service providers? Why do you think clients choose you?
I think it little bit depends on the specific business segment, but in one word, it would be, in one word not possible, but in few sentences, that would be kind of our geographical coverage and our scale of operations. It is very, very important both in vending segment, where we can effectively operate a machine in Riga, as well as we can operate a machine in Valmiera or in Daugavpils, for instance, if Latvia is mentioned. And it's also the importance for the commercial segment. For instance, if let's take one example, our customer Circle K, again, he needs a service not only in Riga or Tallinn or Vilnius, but also regionally. And we are one of the very, very few, if not the only company in the market that could provide such a service at a very reasonable cost and time in the Baltics. The second, I think, point is the variety of the offer. So we can serve, the small auto repair shop somewhere in the countryside with a very simple, cost-efficient coffee solution, as well as, I don't know, the best, the most modern office in the capital, startup office in the capital city of any of the Baltic countries with the state-of-the-art machine. So I think the variety of the offer that we work with Lavazza, we all work with our own brand. We now will start working with Illy. So different specific concepts to serve very wide variety of the customer needs.
Thank you, Victoria. And the next question is: what is the company's vision for sustainable coffee? Is there such a request from customers?
I think it's a very growing trend. The sustainability of the coffee is a very growing trend. We source most of our coffee from the 3 suppliers. So our own coffee blends are roasted in Pelican Rouge, which is a leading coffee roaster in Europe. It has its own sustainability program. We have a couple of the certified blends, and a couple of the blends that we are selling are also fully organic, depending on what the client requests. So basically, currently we are in process of defining our own ESG strategy, where we plan to convert, I think in 5 years' time, the 50% of our blends to sustainable blends.
Thank you. All questions are now answered. The recording of the webinar will be soon available online. Please follow Coffee Address Holding announcements to stay up to date with the company's news. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.